Hey, it's Rick and Patty from the KORD Morning Show. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.
And, of course, you can always catch us anywhere and everywhere with our KORD mobile app. It's free for you in the App Store as well in Google Play.
The Pendleton Whiskey Music Fest, Dustin Lynch would have performed that song for you right there. There's Chevrolet featuring Jelly Roll. 6:13, you got Rick, you got Patty. Always great to be with you. Windy, breezy. It's actually, today, Patty made the comment coming in, it's colder outside than it is inside. Normally when we come in, it's it's a flip-flop when we come in. They got the iceberg going on inside.
You need a jacket today.
I know.
At least over here.
No, I know. So we coming in, it's colder outside than it is inside. So normally it's the flip-flop. Normally it's an ice, we're in an ice freezer inside the studio, but outside it's like, oh, it's so warm, so hot. So right now 65 degrees for you, and looks like we're getting a great sunrise too. Sunshine, still that haze in the air as you get up and get going. We're going to work on some Facebook fun, Nashville news, other people's problems. What you got going on, Patty? Anything?
What do you mean, what do I got going? I'm signing in.
You're signing in?
I'm signing in. I've got double, you got to enter this passcode and that passcode.
I'm
just getting going.
Yeah, I always laugh. Someone had asked
this device.
Someone had asked about my password. I said, it's not, no, I'll even say it. It's Rick and then Michael's. And it's like, really? You want to come steal these computers? Go for it. They're not worth anything. I mean,
I'm just now getting into Facebook. Here we go.
Knock yourself out, kids. All right, so we're going to get your day started. Grab a cup of coffee, dig in. Going to try to entertain you today with some great music. If you want to hear something, let us know right there on the, you can call us, of course, the good old-fashioned way. Or you can also go to the app chat feature right there on the app. Remember the rotary phones? Remember the party lines?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I remember when I first lived down on the Grand Ronde River, it was a party line, and you get on there. I was like 6 years old. Like, what? People are talking, and they'd be talking up the river or whatever. So do it the old-fashioned way if you want. 547-KORD. Yeah, let's get your day started. You got Rick and Patty. Good morning, KORD.
You're waking up with the KORD Morning Show. Number one for New Country. 1027 KORD. Have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto? Make sure you have our app, so when you connect your device, we can go everywhere together.
625, number one for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. Your morning commute. You got Rick, you got Patty. 61 degrees, sunshine for you, a little haze in the air. Breezy right now. But that's what we're waking up to, the breeze this morning. It's like, it's a little chilly out there. All right, here you go. Facebook fun to start the day. Get your day motivated, get it up and going. Where are some unacceptable places to go on a first date?
Wow. Unacceptable?
Yeah, unacceptable.
I don't know.
I was thinking like a strip club.
Oh.
Would be my number.
Man.
Be my number one would be the strip club, maybe.
I'd say anything that has to do with the ex,
Well, yeah. Oh, yes. You don't want to go to the favorite restaurant of the ex or anything.
No, anything that, that they're trying to get away from.
What I've always thought was an unusual first date, and a lot of people do it, is a movie.
Why is that unacceptable?
It's not unacceptable. I'm just saying it's an odd thing for me because you're watching a movie, so you can't talk to get to know the person because you're at a movie.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I've gone on plenty of first dates to the movie. Plenty of them.
Yeah.
They didn't work out after that, but it's because, so I thought to myself, that's a second or third date to me is that going to the movie.
Sure.
Because then you can just enjoy the movie.
I haven't been on a first date in a long time. I don't even know
It's been a while.
What do you do? I mean, I think now sometimes like when I'm out walking DJ, I can tell when I see a couple, I'm like, oh, they're on a first date.
On their
and that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Interesting. Public park, someone said.
Yeah.
I'm like, but
that's unacceptable?
Yeah, this is unacceptable.
Oh, I think that would be a great place.
Tiernan says your ex's wedding.
That's what yes.
I'm gonna put a little laughing emoji on that one.
Yes. That is kind of funny.
Yeah, people are laughing at that one. Your ex's wedding. Yeah, that's not a great first date. Absolutely. I mean, I try to think of RF McDougal's when it was RF McDougal's. That's where our first date for Megan. We went for coffee. So you go for coffee is the first date, and then the second date can be dinner or whatever else it's going to be down the road. So first date with Jeff. Where did you guys go? Do you remember?
I don't.
Did you guys go to dinner or did you guys go to lunch?
I'm sure we went to dinner somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm a weird, I don't like a lot of stuff, that's typical for a meal.
I was thinking about a lot of my first dates were, I think, dinner. Generally, dinner was probably the number one.
Like pizza and bowling. I think it was like it was like a group thing, and it was like with his friends.
Yeah, I've done bowling on a first date.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good one. I've done roller skating because
I do know. You know what? We went We went to a miniature golf place.
That
was fun.
Another great place for a first date is miniature golfing. Yeah, absolutely. See, we're coming some good ones.
I was no good at it.
You got beat by Jeff.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Got beat by Jeff. Oh, geez. So, well, at least you didn't beat him because then it's don't take away his masculinity.
I know.
Oh, just deliberately lose.
Yeah.
I can't stand any of that. If you're good at something, man, be good at something, right?
So, you know what? I mean, we met as neighbors in Madison, Wisconsin. So there's a lot of, you got the University of Wisconsin. Yeah. There was a lot of, and I worked for one of the radio stations there. So a lot of the things that we did centered around my radio.
Well, yeah, back in the early days when we had lots of concert tickets. Oh, I recall that. So there you go. That's Facebook Fun this morning. Where are some unacceptable places to go on a first date? Strip club, your ex's wedding. A lot of great ones coming in. We're going to share more of these comments on the way. You got Rick and Patty.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
There you go. Chris Young, Young Love, Saturday night, 638, number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. What's going on in Nashville?
Rising country music sensation, Shaboozey, preparing for his fall tour. He is the talented singer behind a bar song.
It's cool to be able to incorporate some of the instruments I used in Tipsy, like the fiddle. And in Jeff Gordon, I used like some commentary, like just some sound bites from just some NASCAR commentators. With the young Jeff Gordon, and you had the Dale Earnhardt. So the fiddle, I always try to incorporate some like super traditional element into the music that helps just create the world.
Sounds like he's got some great things planned behind his tour. It's called Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. And that kicks off in early September, featuring stops in Chicago, Toronto, Boston, as well as Nashville. Tickets are available now. And Nate Smith is celebrating his third consecutive number 1 hit, Bulletproof. At the top of the media-based country chart this week, he learned the news just this past weekend at the Boots and Heart Festival in Canada. Nate's fiery breakup anthem follows Whiskey on You and World on Fire. Just so you know, Bulletproof is one of 7 songs featured on his Through the Smoke EP. And also, the Daily Mail says that Nate recently fell during a concert in Vegas, although he quickly recovered and just continued singing. The MTV Video Music Awards, they're going to be pushed back to avoid a conflict with the first presidential debate. The network announced the VMAs are now going to be taking place on September 11th. That's a day later than originally planned. Taylor Swift, just so you know, leads the field with 10 nominations, including Video of the Year. Those are your trending headlines.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. No need to wait for AI. Catch us now on Google Home and Alexa devices. Open our app for more info.
There you go, Post Malone, Blake Shelton, Pour Me a Drink, another great track off the Post Malone country album that comes out in just, 3 days, Patty? 3 days? Friday. A couple of days away from that. Very excited about that download. Everybody's excited about it. Does anybody buy like hard copies of anything anymore? Like a CD?
I don't know.
I download.
I haven't bought a CD in years.
I know. I download everything nowadays. So
everything's on the phone. I mean,
can you recall the last album? Can you recall the last album that you bought?
I can't.
Mine is I can recall the last album I bought is Eddie Van Halen's Kid, Wolfgang Van Halen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I bought his album. Really good. His second, I bought both his albums because growing up, I was a Van Halen fan. So,
I can't remember the last time I bought a CD.
Yeah.
I can, I remember the last purchase I made on iTunes just the other day.
Yeah, but a CD. Yeah,
as far as a CD, I have no idea.
Yeah, definitely. I buy more singles than I buy anything. The day of going out and getting a whole album of somebody.
I don't need to hear all those album cuts.
I'm like, oh, what's the hit? Oh, I like that. Like I'd go get that song right now.
I will be downloading all of Post Malone.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be the number 1.
He sings with Dolly.
Yeah,
hello.
Yeah, I love that. And if you want to listen to a great album, the Dolly Parton Rockstar album is really good.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, where she's teamed up with everybody.
Yeah,
there's some great tracks on that, and especially the Dolly and Miley. There's just a bunch of. It's
good
well done, and anybody who can get Steve Perry from Journey to sing with you,
wow,
they do Open Arms together. So
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And I give it to Dolly. Dolly can rock it.
I know she can.
Because I like what she.
I love Dolly.
I love Dolly. I like what she said. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know.
And she goes, I don't have a rock album, so why am I being inducted? So let me go make one. and then Robert Plant.
Well,
you know,
yeah, you better
Steve
walk
Perry.
the walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for her.
All these classic rock people are like, well, I'll come be on your album, Dolly.
Well, why not?
Absolutely. All right, 6:52. You got Rick, you got Patty. Some great music on the way for you coming up. John Party, Rodney Atkins coming up next. It's KORD.
The Cord Morning Show with Rick and Patty. Back with more next on number 1 for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning to you. And, of course, the situation going on and other people's problems. What is going on with Chelsea?
Rick and Patty, my car recently gave out on me, making my commute to work somewhat of a problem. My husband and I share a single ride. Since he's got an early morning shift, he gets the car, which leaves me to rely on Uber or BFT. Now, here's the thing. I'm 4 months pregnant. So I worked out a solution. I saw a car sitting on the neighbor's driveway that had been there for some time. And when I asked about it, she told me someone owed her money, and she kept the car until he could pay her back. But she already has a car, doesn't need it. So she told me I could use it whenever I wanted to. So I took her up on it, and my husband now is mad. He says we could get in trouble if I wreck this car because we would not be insured, and we have no idea why the guy owes our neighbor money. I'm saying if he doesn't like my idea, he needs to come up with a better solution for me. What do you say? Chelsea and Pasco.
Oh, single car situation. Patty, what would you do in this situation?
I'm not getting in that car.
You're not getting in that car?
Not if it's not insured and whatnot. Absolutely not. You better just go buy one. You and your husband go buy one.
Well, I'm not going to tell a lie. In my youth,
not doing it.
Being a poor disc jockey, I went a lot of years without insurance. Now, I would never do that again. I'm just saying, but I think I went 7 years back when I was a poor DJ. No, I know.
You were driving for 7 years without insurance?
Oh, easily. Oh, probably easily. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't until I started making at least a living, that I haven't. Now, I've had insurance 20 plus years now. But back when I was young, reckless and stupid,
I just had money taken out of my checking account just a few minutes ago for my insurance.
So when I pull something stupid like this, probably 20 years ago I would have pulled something stupid like this. You got to find a solution here, though. You got a single car.
Your husband needs to drive you to work.
She's pregnant.
Sorry.
Yeah. So to me, if my wife was pregnant, I'd figure a way, even if that means that. Yeah, it's going to inconvenience me to drop you off. Now, see, we do radio, which means we have to be here at the time we're here. Does that make sense? So it's going to be.
You've seen me. I've had to drive my husband.
I know you.
I couldn't even get the key out of the ignition. I'm like, Rick, what's going on?
But if you guys were down to one car, how would you handle it? What would you do in this situation? Because if you guys were down to one car, like my wife can work from home. She works out at the site, so I could probably use. If we were down to one car, I could probably use her car. No problem. But I'd have to be back by 9 o'clock. So
it's terrible when you only have one car. It's hard. It's hard to do.
It is. And especially Uber or Ben Franklin Transit. And 4 months pregnant. So, yeah, what do you do?
Well, I kind of know the guy who runs BFT, so I'd call him up and, hey, can I drive? Can we get one of those buses?
Get one of those buses to come by the house, pick me up there. So you're saying you would never drive this neighbor. You don't know anything about this car.
I'm not driving it. Absolutely not.
I think I would check my insurance to make sure, because some people always say, interesting when you let someone borrow your car. Oh, I want to borrow your car, right? They always say, oh, my insurance will cover it if I hit anybody. How do I know?
I know.
You don't know.
No.
So the best thing you can do right now, Chelsea, is number one, check your insurance policy. And if it does cover you for this car, then I think you're okay to go. That's me. I'm going to say, I don't know.
I'm not taking any chances. And you're pregnant? Nope.
Well, I'm going to revert back to old Rick. I'll take the chance. So what do you guys think? 547 KORD. App chat us what you would do in the situation.
You rebel, you Rick.
I know. I'd probably, if my insurance covered it, I'd probably drive the car. So we'll see what you guys think. Throwing it out there. Chelsea, let's see what people are saying. 547 KORD. App chat us. What would you do? We want to know. It's Rick and Patty. KORD.
You're listening to Rick and Patty in the morning on number 1 for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
KORD. Scott McCreary, it matters to her. 724. I really thought that I know we got Carrie Underwood coming to American Idol, but Scotty would have been a good replacement too.
I think so.
For Katy Perry. So,
Yeah.
now I love getting the OG Carrie Underwood, but there you go. Scotty would have been great too. All right, so yesterday I was at Great Clips getting my hair cut, and I was talking to the stylist, and she had mentioned that her stepson, had a Chromebook that the class or the school gave him, during the summer break.
Students get Chromebooks?
Yeah. Didn't you know that? Yeah. So they get Chromebooks. So it got me.
We don't even get Chromebooks.
Of course not. But it got me thinking that there's a brand new study saying cell phones have become such a distraction in schools that at least 8 states have passed laws to limit the use during school hours.
I saw that.
I know Oregon, and we did an article, I'm sure it's on our Cord website, about the fact that they give baggies like the concerts these days.
Oh, to put your phone in during class?
Yeah, so there's some Oregon school districts that are putting the phones in a baggie.
I like that idea,
and then you can only unlock them at the points. You know what I'm saying? Just like a concert. So even though it's in a clear bag, you can't access it because it's magnetically sealed until you go to the unlock point. Anyway, people were losing their minds. Like,
well, how would you like to be a teacher?
Well,
and
it wasn't the teachers that losing their minds. It's the parents.
Well, I get it.
How dare my kid can't access their phone 24/7?
Yeah, well, the kids are probably going crazy.
Right. But it's the same thing when people talk about concerts nowadays. Like Garth Brooks does it. Like, hey, you go in, you put your phone in a baggie, you go in, and you can't get it until you go to the unlock points. So you got parents freaking out. Well, my kid needs that phone,
I need to get a hold of my kid.
Right.
I get it.
Now, remember when we grew up, it was like, Patty Banner, can you come to the office?
Yeah.
Your mom's on the phone. Ooh. They were like, Patty Banner, can you come? Your mom's on the phone. Ooh, Patty's in trouble. And then you go to the...
Or it was big tragic news. You didn't know.
Well, but you still got called to the principal's office if you got a phone call.
Oh.
So should we go back to those days, or dang it, my kid needs to have a phone on him 24/7. How dare you take that away from him?
Realistically, what are you doing on your phone that you can't give your teacher, your attention?
We know it's
Put that phone down.
So we're going to take some calls. 547-KORD. What's your opinion on this? Should kids be allowed to bring them, or should they be banned? Is it right for the government to be involved in limiting cell phone usage? And do you let your kids bring phones to school? I think everybody brings their phone to school. There's no doubt about that. But where's it kept? I
don't know. At what age do you get a cell phone? Are you in kindergarten? You whipping out a phone?
Okay.
I'm asking.
I'm not going to get on the point this morning, but literally there are kids going through Starbucks now, you know what I'm saying, and showing up to school with Starbucks. I mean, come on. I'm talking first,
I got
second.
my big drink.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, because they emulate.
What kid is drinking coffee?
No, I don't know what they're drinking, but you and I both know that they're going through. Mommy, Daddy,
I need my Starbucks. I know.
And they walk in with their Starbucks because it's a status thing. It's a It's not just they're getting a cup of coffee.
Don't get me going on that. You know what I paid for my Starbucks the other day?
Like $10 or something.
I about flipped out.
So we'll take some calls. What do you think? Should smartphones be in school? Where should they be located? What do you think? Take some calls on the way. You got Rick and Patty.
We love to hear from you, and it's easier than ever to reach out. Just open up the Cord mobile app and send us an app chat message, or you can contact us the old-fashioned way at 509-547-KORD. Number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. Make sure you have our free app for concert news, contests, and your favorite country everywhere you go.
School? Yeah, around the corner. Kids are getting back to school.
Yes.
Talking to my hairstylist yesterday, she talked about that her stepson, he's 9 years old. He's got a Chromebook. And they even gave him the Chromebook for the summer. Oh. And she was talking about the fact that when he got the Chromebook at the end of the year, she was like, okay, you're going to put that up. She goes, there's no reason for a kid to have a Chromebook from the school during summer break. No. So she made the kid put it away that way that, number one, that he wouldn't lose it.
I get it.
Because that was the big fear. Mm-hmm. So it got me thinking about Oregon, which just passed this big smartphone thing, cell phone thing, where they're now in clear baggies and they're magnetically sealed. And so the only way you get your phone, if you want to unseal it, is you got to leave the classroom, go to one of those little stops, and it unseals, and you can use your cell phone. Mm-hmm. So do you agree or disagree with that? A lot of teachers are saying that the phones are just a big distraction these days and keeping the kids off the phones. I know that there's some, which has also got people upset, is you walk into the class and you drop your phone off. Like there's like a box. You walk in.
I think that's a good idea.
Everybody put your phone in the box because you're there to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 40.
You don't need your phone.
It's 45 minutes for each of those classes, basically, technically, right? So, people just can't live without the phones. So, but taking your calls, 547-KORD. What's your opinion on phones in the classroom? Do you agree or disagree? And do you think they should have them or not have them? What do you think?
In younger children, like elementary, junior high, no, I don't think they should.
Okay.
However, if they're responsible, like high school, 9, 10, 11, 12, they're being responsible, they're not on it. I don't see why not.
All right, there you go. So she's saying that high school students absolutely can just be down to the side or in their bags or whatever.
Yeah.
And then elementary, some first grader whipping out their smartphone. I think I'd have. I don't blame you.
I think you.
I would have if the first graders like, oh, hang on, I'm playing Minecraft right now. What? 547-KORD. Agree or disagree that phones should be allowed in school?
I think that phones should not be allowed in the classroom.
Okay.
They need to lock them into a secure place, and they can get them as soon as class is over. And I don't care what kind of emergencies there are. If there's an emergency, they can call the school, and they can page overhead for the student to go to the principal's office to talk to whoever.
Okay.
We got along just fine without cell phones growing up, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did.
It caused way too much of a distraction, and too much of the learning is already electronic. They don't need to have even more electronics in the school. Go back to pen and paper and cursive.
Wow.
Even if they just have a little case that they can put each one of their phones in, like little sleeves, like little cubbies, and then as soon as class is over, they can go and get them and be on their merry way. During class, they don't need to have them on their person at all.
That guy's got an opinion, and I was going to say...
I like it, though. I stand by that.
You don't sound like you're 85 years old, Grandpa, but okay, we'll take it. Anyway, a little extreme on that call.
He didn't sound 85 at all. He sounded like a man in his 30s.
I know, it sounds like, but it does sound like something an old man would say. Oh, get off my lawn, kids.
Yeah.
So 547-KORD, smartphones in school. Do you agree or disagree?
What do you think?
Me? I think that they should be put away,
Yeah.
and I like the idea of the clear bags to where they unlock at the station, different things like that. So what do you guys think? 547-KORD, more of your calls on the way. You got Rick and Patty.
You're waking up with the Cord Morning Show, #1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Shed this year, and we're getting excited because Jody Messina, is it Legends?
I think so. Yes.
I love Jody. She was just at the Pendleton Whiskey Music Fest. If you missed out at the Pendleton Whiskey Fest, she's now going to be over there at Legends. Man, looking forward to that show.
I know.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Is it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And Bye Bye, she's got a ton.
My husband got to hang out with her at Whiskey Fest. He's a fan.
Said she was awesome, huh?
Yep.
So as school gets ready to start around these parts, should smartphones be allowed? Now, some schools like Oregon, down in Oregon, they're like making little clear plastic baggies that you put your phone in. And it's locked away and you can't get it until, between classes and
What
stuff.
if there's an emergency?
That's the question. 547-KORD. So we went to the expert, somebody who actually works in our school districts. Abigail, tell us what you think. Should the phones be allowed or not?
Absolutely should not be in schools. They are a nightmare. A nightmare. We have kids calling parents to say, I don't think I feel good. And the parents show up and we're like, no, they have to go through the nurse. And they are a pain in the drain, let me tell you. You know what? It kind of depends. And, there are some exceptions to that rule because there are kids that have diabetes and things like that. And then they have the monitors on a cell phone. So I don't have a problem with anything like that that's life-threatening or, whatever. But we have so many kids should not have access to their phone during the day. It's a problem for the teachers. It's a problem for the office. It's just they should not be allowed. And locked up during the daytime. I get the fact that the parents want to know that their kids are fine. No, their kids are fine. If they're not fine, we're going to be calling them.
There you go. And we know that when we were kids.
Yep.
This stuff did not exist when we were kids. So if Patty fell off the playground, teeter-totter, Mom and Dad would hear about it. Oh, Patty had an accident.
Yeah, you get a call.
Patty had an accident. She fell off the jungle gym, scraped herself up pretty good.
The monkey bars.
Yeah. So as long as there's new technology, and again, it's like then you have to make exceptions to the rule, which is fine. But then people are going to say, "Oh, I need." Yeah, I'm always amazed when I see people who do not have service dogs in the grocery store.
What do you mean?
You see people that are shopping without service dogs are allowed in grocery stores.
Yes,
but then I see other dogs.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not a service dog, but I mean, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't affect me, but I do look over and go, should Fido really be, near the cold cuts? I don't know. So taking more of your calls on the way, 547-KORD. You got Rick and Patty.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD. It's easy and quick. Stop by our website or open our app for your chance to head back to school with a $500 Visa gift card. Look for Hall Pass Cash.
Chris Young, Raised on Country, 808, number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. Coming up, we're going to catch up on other people's problems just a bit away from that. The neighbor's got a car that's just sitting there. Can you use that car? We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit.
Okay.
Before we get to that, though, the KORD mobile app, lots of great free content you can check out right now. And Patty, my wife and I have discussed this quite extensively. So one Saturday morning, I think I went out and I started mowing the lawn because it was so hot that day.
How early?
I started mowing the lawn at about 6:30.
Unacceptable.
Okay. Well, explain why
unacceptable.
Explain why that's unacceptable.
That's rude, Rick.
Well, okay. But is it illegal? Is it illegal? That's the question. One of my
anything illegal?
One of my lawnmowers has lights on it. I'm just saying. One of my lawnmowers actually has a deck that has lights. So
that's very cool.
I'm not saying
if you want to mow at 10 o'clock, go ahead. See what's going on.
I'm not saying mowing at 10 o'clock at night, but I'm just saying. So is it illegal to mow your lawn outside of certain hours?
Technically, any time between it depends. Every city is different. 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
At night or in the morning, basically. What do you
think?
Think?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Look, they'll go anywhere between 11 p.m. at the latest.
Yeah.
To 7 a.m. should be Again, it's called quiet time.
I know who's mowing at 11, but okay.
So listen, my neighbor, when I lived in Kennewick, she went around, and because it would be so freaking hot in the summertime, she'd often, wait for the sun to go down,
right, and mow it because you probably.
And she had one of those.
Yeah, she had a headlight. See, exactly.
So she could see where she's going. She'd be out at 10 o'clock at night. Now, technically, is that?
That's the gray area for me. For my neighborhood, generally 8 o'clock in the morning.
She said 9:30 is the latest.
Okay,
she really mows.
So for me, 8 o'clock, and then the latest I think I've mowed is 8 o'clock at night. So 8 o'clock in the morning. I try to shoot for 8 o'clock in the morning, and 8 o'clock at night's the last time I stop.
And that's generally safe. Yeah. But you might, you're going to want to check your. Have you ever called the cops on somebody?
No, never done anything like that. But I've had but when it's hot, when it's 105, 110, I don't blame people for getting out there at 7 in the morning or even 6:30 in the morning. 5 a.m. Absolutely, I go with you. 5 a.m. Okay, yeah, that's quiet time. I'm with you on that. Anyway, so you can read Patty's article. It's a good one. Is it illegal to mow your lawn outside of certain hours? You want to know more details about that, or if you are a Karen and you want to call the HOA and get the scoop, it's posted for you now on the KORD mobile app.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. No need to wait for AI. Catch us now on Google Home and Alexa devices. Open our app for more info.
Hello, Dirks Bentley, number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty, 824. Got quite the situation going on in other people's problems today. And what is going on this morning, Patty?
So Chelsea says, my car recently gave out on me, making my commute to work somewhat of a problem. My husband and I share a single ride. Since he's got an early morning shift, he gets the car. That leaves me to rely on Uber or BFT. Now, here's the thing. I'm 4 months pregnant. So I've worked out a solution. I saw a car sitting in the neighbor's driveway. It's been there for a while, and when I asked about it, she told me someone owed her some money, and she kept the car until he could pay her back. But she already has a car, doesn't need it. So she told me I could use it whenever I wanted. So I took her up on it. My husband's kind of upset. He says we could get in trouble if I wreck the car because we would not be insured. We have no idea why that guy owes our neighbor money as well. So I'm saying if he doesn't like my idea, he needs to come up with a better solution for me. What do you say, Chelsea and Pasco?
So many great comments, and what are people saying already?
Mary says if the car isn't registered to your neighbor, I wouldn't drive it. However, if the neighbor has had it for a while, maybe the owner abandoned it. Regardless, 4 months pregnant is not an excuse to not use Uber or the transit. I would continue with Uber or transit and until they get the vehicle fixed or get a new one, because eventually you're going to have a baby to tote around. Take Ubby to work and use the car, maybe.
Barbie says if the real owner reports it's stolen, they'll find you, and then you go to jail. Your insurance covers you in a different car, but if it's not reported or stolen. Thank your neighbor and don't do it. Why can't you take your guy to work? Then he can take the bus home, and that's from Barbie.
Technically, it's not your neighbor's name. Therefore, if said owner of the vehicle finds out you're driving that vehicle, they could very well report it stolen. Samantha.
There you go. Shannon, it's a horrible plan. She doesn't own the car. She can't lend it to you. Fix your car. And that's from Shannon.
If your neighbor's the owner of the vehicle, then use it. If not, don't. But your husband should find you something or fix your car. That's from Carol.
Well, JB says that's not how insurance works exactly. Drive it. She's saying drive it.
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it. And you're pregnant. That's from me.
Hope says, yeah, did you already do Hope? You can get insurance on your license, which would give you coverage in the event of an accident. It's fairly cheap, but does not give the car any coverage if it's damaged. We had a guy call earlier, talked about a broad form. A broad form.
Is what
exactly.
you need?
Where you could basically drive whatever vehicle you want to drive and you're completely covered. But they're making some great points in this particular situation. But I don't know. I mean, I was the one who said I'd do it, but, but
Rick said I'd drive without insurance.
I did for a lot of years. I would not do it today, and luckily my son has never done it because I taught him better than when I was a kid, or a teen, But
the worst thing is, what if you get into an accident? You're not insured. I mean, you're dangerous. Do not.
Looking back,
it's against the law to drive without insurance.
Yeah, but so I just want to clarify. When I was younger, Idaho, you were not required to show proof of insurance when I was a teenager and didn't have insurance on my car. I bought my car for $200. Number one, I bought my car for $200, and then Washington had just passed. Okay, you got to show proof of insurance, but Idaho was still they'd ask for a license. That was it, license registration, but they never asked for insurance. And then Idaho caught up and eventually started asking.
Why can't everything be uniform? Why can't it be the same?
I'm not going to swirl a big thing, but why does insurance have to be so dang expensive?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And why? Okay, so any teenage boy knows that. Why is my sister's insurance dirt cheap and mine is expensive?
Because you boys are.
No, that's not true.
No,
because
really.
Have you ever gone home? Have you left the radio station, Patty, on 395? I've seen more young teen girls go by me, makeup, sucking on a Starbucks, putting on, driving like a bat out of, and you're sitting there telling me that it's only boys. It's only boys. Most times I get lapped. It's by a young girl. When I'm on the freeway. It's a young girl flying. So there you go. Sorry, I'm going to just throw it out there.
Wow, Rick's on a rampage.
All right.
We call him Rick Rants, but...
there you go. Chelsea, we did our best to solve it for you. I hope we solved it for you. There's a lot of good advice in there. So you take the advice as you see it. Again, I would just recommend getting your car fixed or figure it out with your husband on how not to use that car. Because, again... in hindsight, you don't want something.
I'm just saying, I'm taking the bus. I'm taking BFT.
All right. There you go. She's got it covered too. So let us know what you would do. We want to know. You got Rick and Patty.
The Cord Morning Show with Rick and Patty. Back with more next on number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD.